Look, we've all been there. A new player sits down at the table. They flip through the BX rulebook, or maybe they're looking at the old school essentials, and they see the elf. Their eyes light up. They see D6 hit points, the ability to wear any armor, plate armor, swing a longsword, and then they see the spells column, and they look at you and they ask, "Why would I ever play a fighter? Why would I ever play a magic user when I can just be this? I can do it all in one." And usually, as a referee, you just smile and say, "Go for it." Right? Write elf on the sheet because you know the secret. You know all about the bill that's coming due. You know about the 4,000 XP wall. Today, we're talking about the most expensive class in the OSR. We're talking about why the Generalist is actually a high stakes gamble, and why the BX Elf is the ultimate lesson in longitudinal balance. Man, I probably should have picked a better word. First, let's address the elephant in the room. On paper, at level one, the elf is it's a superclass. And let's be honest with ourselves. In a vacuum, if you're doing a one shot or a dungeon crawl that only lasts 4 hours, the elf is objectively better than any of the human equivalents. The magic user is standing in the back, right, clutching a dagger, terrified that a stiff breeze is going to send them back to character creation. They have one spell. If they're lucky, it's a sleep spell, or maybe it's magic missile. But once they cast it, they're basically a commoner with a fancy hat. And the fighter is up front, right? He's got the hit points, he's got the armor, but he's one dimensional. He hits things. That's his job. But the elf is the Swiss Army knife. He's got the AC of the fighter and the nuke of the magic user. Heck, he can find secret doors on a 1 in 6 just by walking past them. He's immune to a ghoul's paralysis, which, if we're being honest, is a massive lifesaver in the early levels. So the player thinks they found a loophole. They think they've beaten the system. But the system, especially the BX system, was designed by people who understood something that modern game designers have often forgotten. Balance isn't about what happens in a single combat. It's not those numbers. It's about what happens over the course of 20 sessions. And we'll look at the numbers. And don't worry, I'm not going to turn this into a math lecture, but you need to understand the scale of this to grasp what I'm talking about. To get to level 2, the thief needs 1200 XP. The fighter needs 2000, and magic user needs 2500. The elf needs 4 grand. Think about it. By the time the elf is just starting to get their second hit die, and maybe thinking about their second spell, the thief is practically at level 4. The cleric, the fighter, the halfling, they are all sitting at level 3 already. Now, why does that matter? It matters because of the death zone. In the OSR, level 1 is the most dangerous place to be. You have one hit die. A single lucky roll from a goblin with a rusty short sword can end your character story before it even starts. That's why we don't do huge backstories in the OSR. Most classes want to get out of level 1 as fast as humanly possible, or semi humanly, depending on what class you're playing. They want that second hit die. The elf, by choosing to be a generalist, is volunteering to stay in the death zone, as I call it, for twice as long as the fighter. Every single encounter, every single trap, every single check for wandering monsters is another opportunity for the elf to die before they ever reap the rewards of their class. You aren't just paying 4,000 XP. You are paying with literal time you spend at the table being vulnerable. While the fighter is gaining confidence and the cleric is starting to turn undead with reliability, the elf is still sweating every time the DM rolls a d20. And that is the real cost of playing a generalist. We'll move the clock forward. All right, let's roll. Let's say the elf survived. You hit level 3. You're feeling good. You got hit points now. Got a couple of spells. But now that gap starts feeling like a canyon. At 1600 XP, the fighter is level 5. He's got a decent pool of hit points. He's hitting consistently. And he's probably found some magic armor. At that same 1600 XP, the elf is, well, they're still level 4. And that's where the psychological tax starts to hit. The elf player looks across the table and sees the human characters becoming master versions of their roles. The magic user is starting to get third level spells, fireball, lightning bolt, the game changers. The elf, they'll still be casting weapon invisibility. See, being a generalist sounds great when everyone is weak. It feels like you're the hero. But when the party starts to specialize, the elf can start to feel like they're lagging behind. They aren't as good at fighting as the fighter. They aren't good at magic as the magic user. They are the second best at everything. And in a game where specialization often means survival, being second best can be a lonely place. You have to play the elf with a specific mindset. You aren't there to be the best in any one thing. You are there to be the glue. You are the one who fills the hole when the fighter is down or nearly down, or the magic user is out of spells. If you have an ego, if you need to be the one who does the most damage or has the most powerful magic, the elf is going to frustrate you. The XP tax ensures that you are always a step behind the specialist. Now, we got to talk about the end game, or rather, the lack of one for the elf. In BX, humans have this infinite horizon, and I use that word loosely because BX it caps at level 14, but the elf they hit a wall at level 10. That's it, no mas. Now, some people hate this, and they say it's unfair. Why would I play a character that has an expiration date? But look at it through the lens of the OSR aesthetic. The elf isn't a human with pointy ears. I know 5e is an exception, but we're not talking 5e. They are a different creature entirely. Their path is different. By the time an elf reaches level 10, they've seen more, done more, and paid more than any human at that same level. The level ceiling isn't a punishment, it's a statement about the world. It says the path of the warrior mage is so taxing, so demanding of one's spirit and time that eventually it plateaus. While the human fighter is building a castle and leading armies, the elf is reaching the pinnacle of what their dual nature soul can handle. And let's be honest, show of hands, how many of your campaigns actually get past level 10? Most of the action happens in that 3 to 7 range, right? That's the sweet spot. And in that sweet spot, the elf is a powerhouse if you can afford the bill. The elf is designed for the player who wants to engage with every system of the game. You want to engage in tactical combat? Well, you can. You want to engage in resource management of spellcasting? Well, you can. You want to be the one who notices the hidden details in the architecture? Well, you can. But the price for that total engagement is advancement. You trade getting better for doing more. If you're a DM, a ref, and you have a player who wants to be an elf, don't discourage them, but don't hand wave the XP requirements either. I've seen DMs say, yeah, all right, yeah, 4,000 XP is too much. Yeah, we'll make it 2,500 like the magic user, or maybe if they're going to be really strict, 3,000. Don't do it. You're breaking the game. When you lower the XP tax, you remove the danger. You make the elf a no-brainer choice, and when a choice is a no-brainer, it ceases to be an interesting choice. Part of the fun of playing an elf is the bragging rights, the ability to say, I survived the level 1 grind twice as long as you did, and I did it while carrying a spellbook and a shield. The XP tax is the balance. It's what keeps the fighter relevant. It's what keeps the magic user feeling special. If you're a player and you're looking at that 4K XP requirement, don't be intimidated. Embrace it. View it as a challenge. You are playing the hard mode of BX. You are the generalist. You are the one who has to be smarter, more cautious, and more tactical because you can't rely on a quick level up to save your skin. So, is the elf the best class in the game? Maybe. If you have the gold and the patience to pay the tax, but if you want to see the heights of power quickly, let's stick to the human classes. There's a reason they took over the world after all, right? I want to thank the 220 plus minions and members who keep Tenkars Tavern running. Your support allows me to dig into these old school mechanics and talk about why they matter 40 years later. If you enjoyed this dive into the math of the elf, hit subscribe, join the community, check out the affiliate links below because every bit helps us keep the lights on. What do you think? Is 4,000 XP too much, or is it the only thing keeping the elf from running away with the game? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Tenkar. Pull up a stool, have a drink, God bless, and I'll see you next session.